Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you a little bit of Forza Motorsport 8 news. So if you're new around here, definitely consider subscribing and let's talk Forza Motorsport 8. So let's talk Forza Motorsport then. Forza Motorsport 3 is where I got into Forza and it's what got me into racing games. It's my mate's fault. I was on PS3 and he hounded me to go and buy an Xbox 360 and get Forza, and I have not looked back since. So it made me a little bit sad when we weren't getting a Forza Motorsport for 2019, although Forza Horizon 4 has kept us entertained for long enough with still free updates and free cars coming to that platform. So with E3 rolling around and there was no announcement of Forza Motorsport 8 and the update stopping for Forza Motorsport 7 back in August, they have completely moved the development team over to Forza Motorsport 8 and are hard at work to get that game finished. So back in December they had a Forza monthly live stream, the December edition, and they let loose some juicy details about Forza Motorsport 8. Now I assume it's called Forza Motorsport 8, it might be called something different, but for this we're going to call it Forza Motorsport 8. Now what they had was a studio-wide test day where everyone in the studio played, a dev build of Forza Motorsport 8. They probably tested a few tracks, tested out, a handful of cars, see what worked, see what went wrong, see what needed fixing. So they mentioned 4 key areas of the handling that they have been working on, one of which is the new tyre model. So the tyre pressure model, a new way of heat interacting with tyre pressure, and a new dynamic track temperature affecting tyres as well. So what this tells me is that the tyre pressure is going to play a crucial role in the handling of your car. So the way you keep the temperature, the way the temperature reacts with the track, and the amount of pressure in the tyres, it's all going to affect how the car handles. Now this is true to real life, this is actually a thing in racing. Tyre pressures are absolutely crucial when going into a corner or braking or even accelerating. So to try and manage your tyre pressures in a game is going to be absolutely immense. The next thing they mentioned was dynamic rubbering in, and this gets me a little bit excited because under braking or accelerating or even turning, you leave a very thin layer of rubber on the track, and the more laps you do, the grippier it gets. Take a drag strip for instance. When they do burnouts at the beginning, just before they sort of launch for the race, they leave a sticky mark on the track to get better traction and get better acceleration. So if you do a 30 lap race, you're going to physically see a rubbering in line, so a racing line, form on the track, which in turn potentially could mean in rivals, the more laps you do, the quicker you're going to be because you're going to put down more rubber and create more grip. The third thing they mentioned was atmospheric pressure system affecting aero, power and tyre pressure. So depending what track you're on and what altitude you're at, maybe the air is thinner, maybe the air is slightly thicker, and it will affect the way your aero works, the way your engine sucks in thinner air or thicker air, and it will affect tyre pressure as well. I don't know enough about this to make too many comments, but all I do know is that if we've got thinner air, it's going to produce less power to the engine and less downforce, which could affect the race quite dramatically. The fourth thing they mentioned was new suspension modelling. Now all 4 of these things tied in together, the new tyre model, the dynamic rubbering in, atmospheric pressure system and the new suspension model, it tells me they are massively overhauling the handling in Forza Motorsport. If you look at the handling from Forza Motorsport 5, 6 and 7, Forza Motorsport 5 was the launch game for the Xbox One, and sometimes it just felt like you were driving on ice. Rear-wheel drive cars were almost impossible. Forza Motorsport 6 was a massive improvement on 5. I've got no real complaints about 6 other than there was not a lot of feeling in the controller from what I remember, so brakes, acceleration, it felt a little bit numb sometimes. And then Forza Motorsport 7 was a massive improvement on those two as well. The controller felt good, although the cars did feel a little bit understeery at times, even when you're in a rear-wheel drive car trying to get it round a corner and you would just sort of wash out wide. So let's hope with them overhauling the 4 key features of the handling, it's going to feel pretty good. And that is all the information I have for you today. It's not too much, it's nothing too exciting, it's just them overworking or overhauling the whole handling system, and they have a working game that they can actually test, which is good news as well. So they are making very good progress. They've still got a good 10-11 months to get this game complete. Officially there is no release date yet, but typically Forza's launch in September, October, maybe even as late as November, but I can see this game coming out when the new Xbox releases in 2020. If you want to stay up to date with all the Forza Motorsport 8 news, definitely consider subscribing. And that effectively ends today's video. Is there anything you would like in Forza Motorsport 8? I'm going to do a video of the top 10 tracks I would like to see in Forza Motorsport 8. But thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day.